Discover the secret to a calm and focused mind. Do you often feel overwhelmed by racing thoughts, unable to focus, or consumed by anxiety? You're not alone, and the solution might be simpler than you think. In this transformative video, we'll draw from the timeless wisdom of Buddhist philosophy and share inspiring real-life stories to guide you toward lasting peace of mind. Join us as we unravel the journey of a dedicated monk and other compelling examples that illuminate the path to escaping the trap of overthinking. Packed with profound lessons and actionable tips, this video is designed to help you regain control, find clarity, and transform your mental well-being. Stay with us until the end. What you discover could change how you approach life forever. Let's embark on this journey together to quiet the chaos and unlock your inner calm. The Tale of the Rice Grinder, unveiling the depths of mindfulness. In a secluded monastery in China, a story unfolded that would forever change how we perceive mindfulness and meditation. A young man, earnest in his quest for the ultimate truth of life, sought the guidance of a wise master. His enthusiasm was met not with philosophical teachings or scripture, but with a seemingly mundane task: grinding rice for the entire monastery. At first, the young man was baffled. Grinding rice was tedious and repetitive, hardly the profound path to enlightenment he had imagined. Yet, trusting the master's wisdom, he accepted the task with humility, the path to mindfulness through action. Initially, his mind was like an untamed river, filled with the noise of past regrets and future anxieties. Day after day, as he ground rice, the repetition began to quiet his inner turmoil. The act of focusing on the rhythmic motion of grinding became a meditation in itself. Over time, the young man entered a state of mindfulness so profound that his sense of self faded. He no longer sought validation or knowledge from external sources. The task became his teacher, and the process his enlightenment. A modern reflection, the carpenter's story. Consider Tom, a modern carpenter who turned to woodworking during a period of intense stress. At first, his thoughts raced as he measured, cut, and sanded. But as he immersed himself in each task, focusing solely on the grain of the wood or the sound of the saw, his mind grew still. Over time, the repetitive nature of his work brought him the same clarity as traditional meditation might, helping him navigate life's challenges with calm and composure. Letting go of the ego. One of the most profound aspects of the rice grinder's journey was the dissolution of his ego. As he became one with his task, he let go of his identity and the need to prove himself. His transformation highlights a universal truth. True self-realization often requires surrendering the notion of self. The artist's parallel, Emma, a painter, experienced a similar revelation. She initially pursued art to gain recognition, constantly comparing her work to others. However, when she began painting purely for the joy of creating, she discovered a sense of fulfillment far deeper than external validation. Emma's story, like that of the rice grinder, underscores the power of focusing entirely on the present moment and letting go of ego-driven desires. True knowledge beyond books. The master's teaching also challenges the idea that enlightenment is found solely in books or intellectual pursuits. The young man's experience demonstrates that wisdom arises from direct engagement with life, not from theoretical understanding. A modern example of this principle is Sarah, a software engineer who felt stagnant despite attending countless workshops. When she took on a passion project, building a custom app for her community, she learned more about coding, collaboration, and herself than she ever could have from books. The hands-on experience became her teacher, mirroring the young monk's journey. Integrating mindfulness into daily life. The rice grinder's story serves as a reminder that true mindfulness can be practiced anywhere. Washing dishes, tending to a garden, or even walking can become transformative when approached with full attention. As the young man discovered, true meditation is not limited to sitting with closed eyes. It lies in complete absorption in the present moment, whether grinding rice or pursuing any meaningful task. His journey teaches us that the path to peace and self-awareness is accessible to all, hidden in the simplest acts of daily life. By embracing mindfulness in action, letting go of the ego, and valuing experiential wisdom, we too can find clarity and fulfillment, no matter how ordinary the task at hand may seem. Mindfulness in action, transforming daily activities into meditation. The The young man's experience in grinding rice for 12 years exemplifies how mindfulness can permeate even the most mundane tasks. His journey reminds us that true meditation doesn't require a cushion, a mantra, or a secluded space. Instead, it is about fully immersing yourself in the present moment, allowing every action to become a pathway to inner peace. The power of repetition. Lessons from the rice grinder. At first, the young man found the repetitive nature of grinding rice frustrating. His thoughts wandered, revisiting past regrets and future anxieties. Over time, however, his focus on the rhythmic motion of the task silenced his mental chatter. The steady, consistent act of grinding rice became his anchor, guiding him toward a state of mindfulness and tranquility. This practice teaches us that any repetitive activity, when done with complete attention, can become a form of meditation. Whether it's sweeping the floor, folding laundry, or brewing coffee, the key lies in approaching the task with presence and purpose. A modern example, the runner's mindfulness. Consider Jake, a marathon runner who initially used running to escape his worries. Early on, his mind would replay negative thoughts, clouding his experience. One day, a coach advised him to focus on the rhythm of his breath and the sound of his feet hitting the pavement. Jake began to experience a profound shift. His runs transformed into a meditative practice. By immersing himself in the present moment, Jake found clarity and peace, much like the young man grinding rice. Bringing focus to everyday activities. Mindfulness in action isn't limited to repetitive tasks. It can also be practiced in dynamic environments. For example, Lisa, a chef, discovered mindfulness while preparing meals in a busy kitchen. Initially overwhelmed by the fast-paced environment, she started focusing on the sensation of chopping vegetables and the aroma of fresh ingredients. This deliberate attention transformed her work from a source of stress into a fulfilling meditation. The role of sensory awareness. The practice of mindfulness in action also emphasizes engaging the senses. When the young man ground rice, he felt the texture of the grains, heard the steady sound of the grinder, and smelled the subtle aroma of rice. These sensory cues tethered him to the present moment. A relatable story is Emily's, a potter who finds mindfulness in shaping clay. The cool, malleable texture of the material grounds her attention, making her work a deeply meditative experience. Through this practice, Emily experiences a sense of peace and connection with her craft. Overcoming challenges through mindful action. Mindfulness in action not only fosters tranquility, but also enhances resilience in challenging situations. During a particularly stressful work period, Adam, a graphic designer, applied mindfulness principles to his design process. By focusing on each stroke and detail without rushing, he managed to create stunning results while keeping his anxiety at bay. Practical steps to practice mindfulness in action. Choose a task. Select a simple daily activity, such as washing dishes or making tea. Engage your senses. Pay attention to the sights, sounds, and textures involved in the task. Focus on the process. Shift your attention away from the outcome and toward the act itself. Let go of distractions. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the task at hand. Practice gratitude. Appreciate the moment and the opportunity to engage with it fully. Lesson for life. The young man's unwavering focus on grinding rice serves as a powerful reminder that mindfulness can be integrated into our daily routines. Whether through the rhythm of running, the art of cooking, or the craft of pottery, we can transform ordinary tasks into extraordinary opportunities for peace and self-awareness. By embracing mindfulness in action, we unlock the potential to find clarity and fulfillment in every moment. Letting go of the ego, the path to self-realization. The young man's journey of grinding rice for 12 years is more than a tale of dedication. It's a profound lesson in dissolving the ego. As he immersed himself in the repetitive task, his attachment to his identity and personal desires gradually faded. He no longer saw himself as a man seeking enlightenment, but as part of the rhythm and flow of life itself. This transformation symbolizes the essence of self-realization, letting go of the ego to uncover the deeper truths of existence. The ego as a barrier. The ego is often the greatest obstacle to inner peace. It feeds on comparisons, achievements, and external validations, creating a sense of separation from the world around us. The young man's ability to forget his name and identity signifies his liberation from this cycle. By surrendering his ego, he tapped into a state of profound mindfulness and connection. A modern parallel, the athlete's journey. Consider Sarah, a competitive swimmer who struggled with the pressure to win. Her ego tied her worth to medals and accolades, leaving her feeling unfulfilled despite her achievements. One day, a mentor suggested she focus not on winning but on the pure joy of swimming. Over time, as Sarah let go of her need for validation, she rediscovered her love for the sport. Like the young man, Sarah found liberation in dissolving her ego, allowing her to experience a deeper connection to her passion. Dissolution of the ego through creativity. Artists often encounter the dissolution of the ego through their craft. Take Liam, a sculptor who initially created works to impress critics. He constantly compared his art to others, which stifled his creativity. One day, he decided to sculpt without thinking about the audience. Immersed in the process, Liam lost track of time, forgetting himself entirely. The resulting piece was not only his best work, but also a testament to the power of creating without ego. Lessons from nature. Nature provides countless examples of egoless existence. Consider a river flowing effortlessly toward the sea. It does not compete with other rivers or question its purpose. It simply flows. The young man's journey mirrors this natural state. By letting go of his ego, he became like the river, moving with life rather than resisting it. Practical application. The power of humility. Humility is a practical step toward letting go of the ego. John, a CEO, realized his ego-driven leadership style was causing tension among his team. Inspired by mindfulness practices, he started prioritizing active listening and collaboration over asserting dominance. As John let go of his ego, his team flourished, and he found greater satisfaction in his role. Everyday ego dissolution. Even in daily life, we can practice letting go of the ego. For instance, while engaging in group activities, try focusing on the collective goal rather than individual recognition. During conversations, listen fully without planning your response, allowing the moment to unfold naturally. Steps to dissolve the ego. Practice self-awareness. Observe your thoughts and actions to identify ego-driven behaviors. Cultivate humility. Embrace the idea that every experience, whether success or failure, is a lesson. Engage in service. Helping others without expecting anything in return weakens the ego. Focus on the present. Let go of past achievements and future ambitions to fully experience the now. Meditate regularly. Meditation helps quiet the mind and create distance from the ego. The gift of egoless living. The young man's transformation illustrates that dissolving the ego is not about losing oneself, but about finding a deeper, truer self. By letting go of his identity, he gained freedom, clarity, and an unshakable connection to the present moment. This lesson is timeless and universal. Whether you are an artist, athlete, or simply navigating the complexities of daily life, releasing the ego allows you to experience life more fully and authentically. It is in this space of egoless living that self-realization unfolds, revealing the profound interconnectedness of all things. True knowledge versus bookish knowledge, wisdom rooted in experience. The master's rejection of the learned disciple highlights a profound truth. True wisdom is not found in books or intellectual pursuits, but arises from lived experience. While the learned disciple could quote scriptures and recite philosophies, his understanding was shallow, detached from the practical realities of life. In contrast, the young man who spent 12 years grinding rice embodied wisdom gained through mindfulness, perseverance, and deep introspection. The difference between knowing and understanding knowledge can be memorized, but understanding requires personal engagement. The learned disciple's superficial grasp of enlightenment underscores the limitation of relying solely on intellectual knowledge. Wisdom emerges when theory is applied to real-life situations, transforming abstract concepts into meaningful insights. The carpenter's lesson. Consider David, a carpenter who spent years studying blueprints and design theories, but struggled with hands-on work. Frustrated, he decided to apprentice under a seasoned craftsman. Through daily practice, measuring, cutting, and assembling, David gained a deeper understanding of his craft. His transformation from theoretical knowledge to practical expertise mirrors the master's lesson. Wisdom is born from experience. A chef's journey to mastery. Emily, an aspiring chef, offers another example. She excelled in culinary school, memorizing recipes and techniques, but found herself overwhelmed in a professional kitchen. It wasn't until she spent months cooking under pressure, adjusting to real-world challenges, that she truly understood the art of flavor, timing, and creativity. Emily's growth highlights how lived experience enriches and deepens intellectual learning. Knowledge without application. The Master's teaching also warns against the dangers of hoarding knowledge without applying it. Take James, a voracious reader who devoured books on mindfulness but never practiced meditation. While he could discuss mindfulness eloquently, his life remained chaotic. It wasn't until he committed to a daily meditation practice that he began to experience the calm and clarity he had read about. Learning through failure. True wisdom often arises from mistakes. Anna, an entrepreneur, started her first business armed with knowledge from business school. Despite her theoretical expertise, her venture failed. Instead of giving up, Anna reflected on her mistakes, adapting her approach. Her second business succeeded, built on the foundation of lessons learned through failure. Like the rice grinder's journey, Anna's story demonstrates that growth requires stepping outside the comfort of theoretical knowledge and embracing real-life challenges. Experiential wisdom in relationships. Even in relationships, experience outweighs intellect. Lisa, a counselor, initially relied heavily on textbook approaches to help her clients. Over time, as she interacted with diverse individuals, she realized that genuine connection and empathy, qualities developed through experience, were far more effective than any theory. Steps to transform knowledge into wisdom. Apply what you learn. Whether it's cooking, carpentry, or mindfulness, practice transforms theory into understanding. Reflect on experiences. Take time to analyze successes and failures to extract meaningful lessons. Seek mentors. Learn from those with practical expertise, as their insights are grounded in reality. Embrace mistakes. Treat errors as opportunities to grow rather than setbacks. Be open to change. Real-world application often challenges theoretical assumptions, leading to deeper wisdom. Timeless lesson. The Master's rejection of superficial knowledge serves as a reminder that true wisdom is a journey, not a destination. It requires humility, patience, and a willingness to learn from life itself. The young man's transformation from a humble rice grinder to a source of enlightenment shows that wisdom is accessible to anyone willing to engage fully with their experiences. Ultimately, the distinction between true knowledge and bookish knowledge lies in action. As we integrate what we learn into our daily lives, we uncover insights that no book or lecture could ever teach. This is the path to authentic understanding, a path open to all who are ready to walk it. The danger of overthinking, breaking free from the cycle. Overthinking is a common mental trap that keeps us stuck in a loop of excessive analysis, paralyzing action and robbing us of peace. It often arises from attachments to past regrets, fears of the future, or harsh self-judgment. While thinking deeply can be a strength, overthinking turns this into a weakness, leading to unnecessary stress and clouded judgment. 1. Dwelling on past mistakes. Regret is one of the most potent triggers of overthinking. It ties us to actions we cannot change, replaying scenarios with what-ifs and if-onlys. Consider Anna, a project manager who agonized over a failed presentation. She spent weeks analyzing every misstep, convincing herself she had ruined her reputation. However, a colleague reminded her that the team had already moved on, focusing on future projects. Anna realized that her regret served no purpose other than fueling her overthinking. By letting go, she redirected her energy toward preparing for her next opportunity. 2. Fear of the future. Worrying about uncertainties can lead to anxiety, a hallmark of overthinking. Take James, a college student facing final exams. He spent more time imagining worst-case scenarios, failing, disappointing his family, or not graduating, than studying. This paralyzed him until a professor suggested breaking his workload into smaller tasks. By focusing on immediate goals rather than distant fears, James managed to regain control and succeed. 3. Negative self-judgment. Overthinking often stems from internal criticism. Focusing excessively on perceived flaws diminishes self-worth and leads to mental exhaustion. Emma, an aspiring writer, constantly doubted her ability to finish her novel. She would write and then delete entire chapters, overanalyzing every sentence. It wasn't until she joined a writing group and received encouragement that she began to trust her voice. Emma's story highlights the importance of silencing self-criticism to break free from overthinking. Before, stress and workload. A busy mind struggles to find calm, creating fertile ground for overthinking. Consider Ben, a startup founder juggling endless responsibilities. His inability to prioritize led to sleepless nights and an overwhelming sense of failure. A mentor advised him to focus on one task at a time and schedule breaks. This shift allowed Ben to calm his mind, improve his focus, and reduce overthinking. Example, the lockpicker's dilemma. The story of the lockpicker beautifully illustrates how overthinking complicates simple problems. Tasked with opening a box underwater, the lockpicker used every technique he knew, only to fail repeatedly. Exhausted, he later discovered the box was never locked. This serves as a powerful metaphor. Our minds often create barriers that don't exist, turning straightforward challenges into insurmountable ones. Breaking free from overthinking. Focus on the present moment. Shifting attention to the here and now can reduce mental clutter. Activities like deep breathing or mindfulness exercises help anchor the mind. Practice gratitude. Reflecting on positive aspects of life can counterbalance negative thoughts. Engage in creative outlets. Painting, playing music, or gardening redirects energy away from overthinking and into productive expression. Write it down. Journaling helps externalize worries, making them easier to analyze and resolve. Meditate regularly. Even a few minutes of daily meditation calms the mind and reduces repetitive thoughts. Seek perspective. Talking to a trusted friend or mentor can provide clarity and dissolve exaggerated fears. A lesson in simplicity. Overthinking often amplifies the complexity of life, but its antidote lies in simplicity. As the lockpicker learned, clarity and calmness are more effective than an overactive mind. By focusing on practical solutions and letting go of excessive analysis, we can break free from the cycle of overthinking and reclaim peace. Through mindfulness, gratitude, and deliberate action, it's possible to transform a busy mind into a balanced one, enabling us to live fully in the present moment. Practical tips to overcome overthinking. Transforming your mind. Overthinking can feel like an endless cycle of worry and doubt, but with practical strategies, it's possible to quiet the mind and regain clarity. Here are 6 actionable tips enriched with real-life examples to help you overcome the trap of overthinking. 1. Live in the present. Focusing on the task at hand helps anchor your mind in the now, breaking free from past regrets or future anxieties. Example, the gardener's focus, Mia, a corporate professional, found solace in gardening after work. Initially, her mind wandered to unfinished projects and looming deadlines. Over time, as she paid attention to the texture of the soil, the smell of blooming flowers, and the rhythm of planting, Mia experienced a profound sense of peace. Living in the moment transformed gardening into a meditative practice, helping her manage her thoughts effectively. 2. Practice gratitude. Shifting focus from what you lack to what you have fosters a mindset of abundance, reducing mental noise. Example, the gratitude jar. Tom, a college student overwhelmed by academic pressures, started a simple gratitude practice. Every evening, he wrote down one thing he was grateful for and placed it in a jar. Over time, this habit shifted his perspective, helping him appreciate small victories and easing his overthinking about the future. Number 3. Engage in creative activities. Creative pursuits allow you to channel your energy into something constructive, distracting your mind from repetitive worries. Example, the musician's escape. Emma, a marketing executive, rediscovered her passion for playing the piano during a particularly stressful year. Spending just 30 minutes a day on music not only improved her skills but also gave her a mental escape from work-related overthinking. Her focus on melodies replaced her tendency to dwell on past mistakes or future uncertainties. Number 4. Write down your thoughts. Journaling provides a way to externalize and organize your worries, making them more manageable. Example, the midnight writer. James, an entrepreneur, often found himself lying awake at night, overwhelmed by thoughts about his business. At a friend's suggestion, he started keeping a journal on his bedside table. Whenever his mind raced, he wrote down his concerns. The act of journaling helped him declutter his mind, providing clarity and better sleep. 5. Meditate regularly. Even a few minutes of meditation can calm your thoughts and promote mindfulness. Example, the commuter's meditation. Sophia, a teacher, used her daily train commute as a time to meditate. Closing her eyes, she focused on her breath, allowing her mind to rest. This simple practice not only reduced her overthinking, but also prepared her to face the day with greater calm and focus. 6. Control your emotions. Acknowledging and processing emotions constructively prevents them from fueling unnecessary thoughts. Example, the painter's process. Liam, an artist, struggled with self-doubt and frustration when his projects didn't turn out as planned. Instead of suppressing these feelings, he began painting them. The act of creating art from his emotions helped him process them in a constructive way, reducing his tendency to overthink and reigniting his passion for his craft. A holistic approach. These practical strategies highlight the importance of balance and intention in managing overthinking. Whether you immerse yourself in the present, express gratitude, or engage in creative outlets, each tip offers a unique path to mental clarity. By incorporating even one of these habits into your routine, you can transform overthinking into an opportunity for mindfulness, creativity, and self-awareness. Over time, these practices can lead to a calmer mind and a more focused, fulfilling life. Personal stories to inspire change. Stories have a unique power to shift perspectives and ignite transformation. These tales of the blue stone, the deaf frog, and the eagle among chickens offer timeless lessons on self-worth, perseverance, and realizing one's potential. Let's delve deeper into their messages, enriched with examples that show how they apply to our daily lives. Story 1. The blue stone's value. A poor man's journey to discover the value of the shiny blue stone reminds us that self-worth is intrinsic, not determined by others' opinions. Modern example, finding self-worth. Sophia, an artist, often felt her work wasn't good enough because it didn't sell well in the local market. Discouraged, she considered abandoning her passion. One day, a renowned art critic stumbled upon her piece at a gallery and praised its uniqueness, calling it a hidden masterpiece. This moment transformed Sophia's perspective. She realized that her value as an artist wasn't tied to local sales, but to the authenticity and depth of her creations. Lesson: your true value lies within. It is not defined by the external world, but by your belief in your worth. Story 2. The Deaf Frog. The deaf frog's triumph, mistaking negativity for encouragement, teaches us to persist despite discouragement and ignore unhelpful voices. Modern example, persevering through noise. Daniel, a tech entrepreneur, faced criticism when he pitched his innovative app idea. Critics said it was too ambitious and wouldn't work. Misinterpreting their skepticism as a challenge to prove them wrong, Daniel continued refining his app. Years later, it became a widely used platform. Like the deaf frog, Daniel's ability to tune out negativity led to his success. Lesson: perseverance is key to overcoming obstacles. Filter out discouraging voices and focus on your goals. Story 3. The Eagle Among Chickens. The eagle's realization of its potential, after living among chickens, illustrates the importance of breaking free from limiting beliefs and embracing your capabilities. Modern example, breaking free from beliefs. Emma, a school teacher from a small town, always dreamed of becoming an author, but believed she wasn't talented enough. Encouraged by a mentor who saw her potential, Emma decided to publish her first book. When it became a bestseller, she realized she had been limiting herself unnecessarily. Like the eagle, Emma learned to soar by recognizing her own abilities. Lesson: don't let your surroundings or past experiences define your limits. You are capable of much more than you think. Practical takeaways from these stories. Believe in yourself. Recognize your inherent value, just as the jeweler saw the blue stone's true worth. Persevere with determination. Approach challenges with the deaf frog's resilience, tuning out negativity. Break free from limits. Like the eagle, seek opportunities to discover and embrace your full potential. Applying these lessons. These stories aren't just metaphors, they're blueprints for change. Whether you're struggling with self-doubt, facing criticism, or feeling stuck in a limiting environment, their lessons can guide you toward growth and self-discovery. By internalizing these messages, you can begin to rewrite your own story, inspired by the profound truths they reveal. Each step you take toward believing in yourself, persevering through challenges, and breaking free from limitations brings you closer to the life you are meant to live. Step into the calm of the present moment. Overthinking is like a dense fog. It obscures our path, distorts reality, and traps us in a cycle of worry and self-doubt. But the good news is that this fog is self-imposed, and you hold the power to clear it. By embracing mindfulness, immersing yourself in the present moment, and drawing wisdom from transformative stories like the journey of the rice grinder, you can create space for clarity, peace, and growth. The transformative power of presence. The stories and lessons shared in this video remind us of the profound truth that peace begins within. The young monk grinding rice, the blue stone's hidden value, the deaf frog's resilience, and the eagle's awakening all point to the same conclusion. Your potential is limitless when you free yourself from the chains of overthinking and focus on the present. Imagine what your life could be like if you stopped dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. How would it feel to let go of self-doubt, silence the inner critic, and trust in your ability to handle life's challenges? By applying the practical tips shared here, whether through mindfulness, gratitude, journaling, or creativity, you can begin to reclaim your mental clarity and emotional balance. Your role in the journey. Now, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Transformation begins with small, intentional steps. Perhaps today, you'll take a few minutes to meditate, savor a moment of gratitude, or immerse yourself fully in a simple task. These actions may seem small, but their impact is profound. Every step you take toward mindfulness is a step away from overthinking and toward a life of peace and purpose. Join the conversation. We'd love to hear from you. What part of this video resonated most deeply? Have you tried any of the tips we discussed? And how have they worked for you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story could inspire others to embark on their own journey toward mindfulness and self-awareness. Be part of the Mirror Stillness community. If you found value in this video, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends, family, or anyone who might benefit from its insights. By spreading these lessons, you're contributing to a ripple effect of positivity and transformation in the world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay connected with our growing community. Together, we're building a space for reflection, growth, and stillness, a sanctuary from the noise of modern life. A call to action. Take a moment now to reflect on the wisdom shared in this video. Ask yourself, how can I integrate mindfulness into my daily routine? What small change can I make today to create a ripple of peace in my life? Write down your intentions and let them be the foundation of your transformation. A final thought. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." This wisdom is more than a guiding principle. It's an invitation. An invitation to step away from the endless cycle of overthinking and step into the calm, clarity, and boundless potential of the present. Thank you for being part of this journey. As you go forward, may you carry these lessons with you and find tranquility in every moment. Until next time, stay mindful, stay present, and let the light of self-awareness guide your path.